Tonight, the Oberon mother jailed for torturing and killing her 3-year-old son because he looked like his father. The federal government's biggest ever shake-up of private health insurance. New video of the moment police arrest the man accused of causing carnage through Singleton. A massive blaze stretches fire crews to the limit at a scrap metal yard. And exclusive details, the NRL moves major premiership games to the bush.
This is 9 News Illawarra with Vanessa O'Hanlon.
Good evening. Most of us will never understand what led to the murder of a little boy at the hands of his mother and her partner. The woman was today given what is effectively a life sentence, with her partner to serve decades in jail for torturing the 3-year-old because he looked like his father. Court reporter Kelly Fedor's account contains disturbing details.
While we can't show you this little boy's face, we can tell you his name was Joey and he should be alive today.
And political editor Chris Ullman joins me live now from Canberra. Chris, you have news on a major shake-up of private health insurance. What are the plans?
Well, Vanessa, the two big gripes people have about private health insurance are the yearly breathtaking premium rises and that few understand what they're covered for. So the government's aiming to make the system more transparent and to cut the cost to 13.5 million policyholders.
Australia's High Court has retired to consider the fate of 7 federal politicians caught up in the citizenship scandal. The Chief Justice says the court is aware of the need for a speedy decision. Most of the attention will no doubt centre on the fate of Barnaby Joyce if he is found ineligible. The government stands to lose its 1-seat majority, forcing a by-election. In good news for commuters, the Hume Highway at Berrima is set to reopen to traffic tomorrow after a fiery truck crash on the Wingecarribee River Bridge. Engineers today assessed the structure, with the RMS now confirming it's safe. House prices in Wollongong have fallen 1.9% over the September quarter, a shift that is affecting much of regional Australia. But 2 areas in Illawarra are bucking the trend.
A 5-bedroom house with ocean views and your own private steps to the beach.
Still ahead, retailers retaliate their campaign to keep their hands on millions from unused gift cards. 15 years on, remembering the victims of the Bali bombings, and the South Coast holiday centres ready to cash in on the tourist boom. Shoppers are losing up to $60 million in expired gift cards each year, and some of the country's biggest businesses say that's how it should stay. 9 News can reveal the National Retail Association has launched a blistering attack in an attempt to block legislation aimed at giving customers more time to shop.
With Christmas around the corner, retailers say it's the government that's the Grinch.
Now to the new drama involving NRL bad boy Blake Ferguson. The Rooster denies he's done anything wrong after police were called to his house early this morning. Neil Breen is at League Central. And Breeny, what have you discovered?
Vanessa, good evening to you. Now, this one is straight out of Rugby League's bizarre file. Blake Ferguson was home alone last night looking after his 2 small boys while his partner is on holidays.
The South Coast is set to double in population as tourists begin to migrate to the beach for summer. Businesses in Kiama have been busy preparing for the influx, with strong trade vital to staying open for another year.
It's a busy morning at Kiama's Hungry Monkey Cafe.
Farmers will soon have a new way to report industrial complaints. The ACCC launching an online tool for submitting competition or fair trade issues. The service will allow workers to report potential legal breaches within the sector, which will then be anonymously sent to the competition watchdog. Time for sport, and Mike joins us now. You have an exclusive story tonight. It's great news for the bush.
That's right, Vanessa. The best news for the bush. Coming up, the NRL making amends for scrapping City Country, announcing a record number of games in the bush in 2018. Also, Australia's greatest Socceroo hits out at the media, and Greg Norman back in training for his comeback to tournament golf. Thrilling finishes, passionate crowds, it's what footy in the bush is all about. Tonight, we can exclusively reveal the NRL is taking a record amount of games to regional areas in 2018. A total of 8, including an historic pre-season grudge match, the Charity Shield. Blockbusters in the bush, the stadiums are full and you're on the edge of your seat. The Hawks have flown to Perth for redemption, a rematch of last season's NBL Grand Final series against the Wildcats. They're fired up and focused after falling apart in the fourth quarter in round 1.
Still feeling the sting from the Taipans.
Mental lapses, simple as that. We're the better team for the majority of it.
It's a tough road ahead for the Capitals, taking on premiership favourites Townsville Fire and Melbourne. The girls hoping for a fast start.
We've been picked to come last, they've been picked to come first and second, so it's a great test for us.
Now, after the break, the presidential birthday present sealed with a kiss. The country kid whose emergency call helped rescue his badly injured mate, and Gavin with the weather. Will be back in a moment.
And we can take you now to the finance figures, and the market was up 0.4%. The All Ords rising 23 points, the highest close for 3.5 months. And one Aussie dollar is buying 78.24 US cents and 87.87 Japanese yen. Well, it's that time of the night we check in with Gavin for the latest in the weather, and it looks like we're in for another long run of dry weather, Gav.
Thank you, Vanessa. Good evening. Well, overall, we've seen a little bit of rain come down throughout parts of the inland areas. Nothing for the coast. And yes, overall, looks like we've got another long dry spell on the way. There are some showers for coastal communities in the coming days, but it's all going to be very limited indeed. Temperatures mostly in the low to mid-20s along the coast, high teens and 20s throughout the inland areas. The rain over the past 24 hours. Good falls, though, a little bit for the Riverina, but it was a hit-and-miss affair there throughout the inland parts. And you can see right throughout that southeast corner, it was fairly dry locally. Big falls, though, for northern New South Wales, up to 70 valuable millimetres for a number of farming communities. That system, it was big, but it's cleared quickly, and the fine dry skies moving in fast. So the sun returning right throughout the southeast corner of New South Wales and over the ACT today. Another passing front way off to the south, not really going to affect us. It's going to be predominantly fine. The onshore winds along the coast remaining in place, and you can see just a couple of showers set to develop as that front there passes offshore. Now, Canberra is going to be fine. Inland areas are going to be dry. Sydney, some showers. Brisbane is going to get very wet in the coming days over the weekend and early next week. Heating back up in the west. The majority of the southeast will be fine. The Alice is warming back up, and we've got a lot of humidity in the north. Westerly winds inland and offshore, and you can see a little bit of a switch around to the south. That's that passing trough line again. So that is going to move in, and we've got a late change towards the end of the day, the evening period. So mostly we're going to see those westerly winds. All fine, really. We're going to see fine conditions, a dry day. There's that little change coming through, and that's why some locations have got a brief little shower in the forecast, more so coming through late tomorrow overnight. So the majority of the day is set to be predominantly fine. There's those shower icons I'm talking about. We're in for a mostly fine day, cloud increasing, westerly winds, and then a switch with that late southerly. It is not going to penetrate the western side of the divide, so across the southern central tablelands it is going to be fine, including the ACT and right throughout the Monero. In for a local look at Canberra, tops of 22, down to about 4 or 5 degrees, partly cloudy but fine. Out on the waterways, the swell running at about 2 metres, and offshore winds as well. Should be some nice waves for surfers. So you're looking at the tide to be low at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The sun will be up 6:18, down at 7:15. Looking at that long range forecast, I'd say all fine. There's nothing really in this on Saturday, and then a very consistent run of fine dry weather, and temperatures mostly maxing out into the mid-20s. Similar story for Goulburn and the Tablelands. A little bit cooler with the cloud, the shower activity very limited, but then it'll warm up as we move into the early middle part of next week. Along the coast, slight risk of a couple of showers. Onshore winds, partly cloudy skies, a few showers around the Illawarra and the mountain areas there, and further south it's going to be a predominantly fine weekend, beginning to warm up as we move into the early middle part of next week for the southern New South Wales coast.
Gav, thank you. And that's 9 News for this Thursday. I'm Vanessa Hanlon. Enjoy your evening. Good night.